sa inyo lahat. Nagpapasalamat rin ako sa Federal Studies for the invitation to discuss a very important topic na nasa Diagyo lang ito kailan sa nangyari sa Bangsamoro Basic Law. The presentation I'm going to give is quite short, but I will try to, as much as possible, share most recent empirical evidence on the state of conflict in Mindanao. Secondly, when I talk about Mindanao, I will not limit myself to the Moro Rebellion. Part of what I'm going to discuss will include the communist insurgency. There are two narratives that we may use to describe the current Aquino government's efforts to secure development and a lasting peace in Mindanao. The first narrative is one of renewed hope and great expectation, the rebirth of transparent and accountable governance, featuring the arrest and detention of prominent names in Philippine politics. This time, the economy grew fast, the budget was robust, it enabled government to finally pay for its costs. The cycle of boom and bust of the foreign debt crisis became a thing of the past. The first narrative is capped by the signing of the framework agreement on the Bangsamoro, the comprehensive agreement on the Bangsamoro, the GPH-NDF peace process, with the GPH-NDF peace process proceeding apace. This narrative, however, is pre-Mama Sapano. The second narrative features gridlock in our streets, the courts, and the legislature, the grip of traffic and the steady deterioration of basic services, a slew of lawsuits affecting business and development initiatives, and the failure to proceed with enabling legislation that can ensure a durable template for transparency and cement what we have in Mindanao, which is a fragile peace. This narrative is definitely post-Mama Sapano. Last year I spoke at UP in Sociology department lecture on shadow economies based on the work they've done, and we looked at Mama Sapano, and I argued that one particular aspect underpinning the Mama Sapano tragedy was the presence of shadow economies in illicit weapons, kidnap for ransom, and illegal drugs in that area. Today, I pay the same attention to that incident. I cite the Mama Sapano tragedy as an important conjuncture and a turning point because it produced more casualties than the 67 police commandos, Moro combatants, and civilians that died that day. It also cast a shadow of doubt and increased distrust that helped cripple many social reform initiatives, most of which should have affected Mindanao, and laid low the cause of ending civil war and propelling a durable development in the countryside. I am certain that chronicles in the future will cite the failure to secure a final and durable political settlement in the two most intractable and violent conflicts affecting our country as the most important, or one of the most important debacles of the Aquino administration. The GPH and MILF negotiations moved successfully towards a comprehensive agreement, the CAB, except that the enabling law that could institutionalize that political settlement failed to pass Congress. This possibility was clear to a few of us because since 2012 we have been monitoring the positions and the perceptions of people in Congress. And we told the panels, we told OPA to beware because what may seem to be support and welcoming attitude among civil society groups was certainly not matched within the walls of the legislature. But, you know, when finally the bill was not passed, it was still painful for us. And we were still disappointed despite that. No? The GPH-NDF peace process, on the other hand, moved in fits and starts from 2010. Yet until 2014, unknown to all of you, There was a promise of a nationwide cessation of hostilities, an agreement to canton NPA combatants in certain areas in the countryside, an agreement to end revolutionary taxation. But that possibility itself eventually succumbed to distrust after Mamasapano, fueling a most violent phase that saw the emergence of a proxy war in Mindanao between your Lumads and our Lumads, and the bloody struggle for the soul of the Lumads in Mindanao. My friends, in the light of these developments, we believe that we need to brace ourselves for a long, hot summer of conflict. As the season of violence is now upon us, there is now a confluence of different triggers, including an increase in shadow economy-related activities, and of course, because the election season is upon us. We used to say that when dealing with these conflicts, that things were bound to get worse before it got better. We wanted to manage expectations, of course, and underscore the fact that political settlements required a marathon mentality, as the constitutionalist Edmundo Garcia often liked to say. Yet today, I can only say that things will get even worse than they are today. And there is no light at the end of that dark and bloody tunnel. To paraphrase the scholar Thompson, we now face uncertainty of Himalayan proportions. Let us look now at the empirical evidence. Violent incidents in the 5 provinces of the Bangsamoro from 2011 to 2015. This is the first time we're presenting this report because we're supposed to launch this 2 weeks from now. The 2015 database has already come in, so we now have 5 years panel data. So you will look, violent incidents in the 5 provinces of the Bangsamoro from 2011 to 2015 totaled a little below 6,200 incidents. However, nearly a third of those incidents happened in 2015 alone. Violence spiked last year. As government security forces retaliated after Mamasapano, the BIFF, Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters, went on a rampage, and private armed groups and criminal gangs laid siege to Moro, Christian, and human settlements in Mindanao. Almost half of that conflict happened in Maguindanao, followed by Basilan. Violent incidents, these are violent incidents involving the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. You will notice that incidents related to the MILF have been going down, but that there was a sudden spike in 2015 as combatants fought fellow combatants in anticipation of the Bangsamoro Basic Law, and they wanted to settle land feuds before that Basic Law came into place. Look at the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters. We have noticed a steady increase in incidents related to the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters, which constitutes a new emerging threat in the Bangsamoro. And finally, violent conflicts involving private armed groups, including organized crime groups of different names. Wala nang Kuratong Baliling, wala nang Pentagon Gang. These are private armed groups that are local in nature, and they are involved in both wholesale and retail activities pertaining to kidnap for ransom, robberies, and the sale of drugs, illicit narcotics. Violent incidents turned horizontal as political elites geared for the elections, as rebel combatants turned against each other, coupled with clan feuding and violence associated with Mindanao's shadow economies taking their toll, reinforcing the horizontal nature of Mindanao's conflict. Before this, we had noted from 2011 to 2013 a dominance of horizontal conflict that was broken briefly in 2014 when for the first time vertical or rebellion-related conflict became the bigger source of violence. When it went back to horizontal conflict in 2015, such that if you put those 5 years together, horizontal conflict has clearly become the more important issue. The current period until the May elections and the consequent spillover that will happen up to the second half of the year will turn 2016 into a central turning point in the nature and scope of violence in Mindanao. It will validate the temporal nature of violence in the South with severe repercussions on economy and society. This is your temporal scale for conflict. Conflict will affect all. You will notice certain spikes during the period of May to the 4 years. You will see a spike during the period of Ramadan. You will see a spike during Christmas. And you will see a spike as well during the lean months, or what we call seasons of climatic variation. Conflict will affect all of the Bangsamoro, but will be most virulent in Mindanao and Sulu due to the huge number of conflict and combat deaths and of political violence. Horizontal and vertical will further rise and lead to even more casualties and victims. If you look at the sad page graph, you will notice one thing. For example, look at Sulu. Sulu is number 4 when it comes to number of incidents, but it suddenly becomes number 3 when it comes to conflict deaths. What does that say? There are fewer incidents of conflict in Sulu, but deadlier results. More people die over lesser incidents of violence. Let's look at, and if you look at causes of violence, you will see that the most number of incidents pertain to shadow economies. But the shadow economies, despite conflict, are relatively peaceful or benign when it comes to human costs. And you will see, while political violence only rates number 3, most people die from political violence of both vertical and horizontal type. Vertical referring to rebellion-related violence, horizontal referring to politicians killing each other in preparation or in anticipation of elections. Worse, the more intensive yet often hidden and ignored civil war in eastern and southern Mindanao, and I refer to the communist insurgency, will exact even bigger human and economic costs. Conflict in this lesser known part of Mindanao, apart from its manifestations as well in northern Luzon and eastern Visayas, is now double the number of violent incidents with an even bigger per capita impact compared to the Bangsamoro. This is the southern and eastern Mindanao conflict database, mainly political issues by sub-causes, while in the Bangsamoro, most political violence is related to political contestation. In southern and eastern Mindanao, most political violence is related to the insurgency. If you look at cost, political issues, election-related violence, sub-causes, number of deaths is really dwarfed by rebellion-related violence and the number of deaths. If you look at shadow economy causes, illegal drugs are the most frequent source of violent conflict. What does this say? But that the Philippine government, the international development community, the international diplomatic posts put their attention on an important issue of conflict in Mindanao that produced lesser incidents and lesser human costs than the communist insurgency. So we all know that this government put more emphasis on the Bangsamoro, and right after Mama Sapana almost really dropped the ball when it came to the GPH and the FP's program. The data I've shown you gives you a glimpse of the severe nature of ongoing civil wars in the Philippines. They point to the need for securing durable political settlements in the next administration. Some people have said that the PBL is dead. I would rather say that the PBL has left the room, but that the CAB has stayed behind. This is not a facetious remark, it is a serious one. I believe that any new administration will have no choice but to start with the BBL and work to revise it to meet the new context and the evolving coalition of forces that can ensure a durable settlement. In terms of the NDF, There are signs that positive results may be expected sooner rather than later under a new administration. You talk to the presidential candidates, look at their platforms and their statements, and they have signified a remarkable openness to settle this armed conflict in the first instance, in contrast to the current government. Nevertheless, we must not lose sight of the real impasse to a lasting peace. Conflict has been transformed, and we should be wary of conflict that comes during the transition, or what we call transition-induced conflict. Conflict in the Philippines, as I said, will continue to be an undulating wave that ebbs and flows within the seasons. Most critical will be the start of the school season, when we have a lot of robberies and theft. The lean months and the periods of climatic shifts, just before the main crop harvest in October, the start of the electoral season, which is in May, and the significant cultural junctures of Ramadan and Christmas. Conflict will continue to be more intimate and personal. For many years now, violence has been connected in intensity to issues far removed from rebellion, clan feuding and the nature of revenge killings that leads to what we call conflict strings. The drug trade and illicit weapons will continue to amass their share of flesh and blood. New threats will emerge from the risk of violent extremism, the most notable examples of which are Ansar al-Khalifa, the Abu Sayyaf, of course, and the Bangsamoro Islamic freedom fighters. These new threats and the intractable character or stringent character of horizontal violence from clans, warlords, and criminal groups cannot be solved by political settlements or peace negotiations 101. A different approach that weakens crime, violence, and instability and counters violent extremism that is centered on openness, tolerance, and inclusion, and a sensitivity to conflict produced by certain patterns of development in the Philippines will require vigilance. In the end, the politique du ventre, or the politics of the belly, will be as deadly as the clash of ideologies, subnationalisms, and nationalisms. Maraming salamat.